Alright, you gotta find your lug nut socket. Yep. There with the impact. Yep. Now your tire's loose. Yep. Pull off your wheel. In. Yep. Alright, now you're gonna find your threads. You're gonna hit her with some good old coil. You don't want to use a wee, just use a wee bit. Just a wee bit. Hit your threads, because you'll be going in here soon. Next up, you take your 18mm ratchet and you break or loose. And you break or loose. Mint-ish? No, yeah, you break or loose. Yeah. Alright, once you're at this point, normally she'll be a little stiff, but in our case, she just popped right loose. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your nut the rest of the way. So once you get this nut loose, you're actually gonna leave your tie rod end inserted in the housing for now. What you're gonna wanna do is come to this nut right here and tighten it so it goes further up on the shaft so that we can actually make our way to removing our tie rod end link. So what you're gonna wanna do is just slowly work it off. Alrighty, so once you get this nut broke loose enough to be able to spin your tie rod end, what you're gonna do is, this might be a little stuck, but in our case it was free. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna you'll see that this spins. You're gonna count the number of rotations you get so that way your alignment stays in order. Because if not, you'll be like, "Bark." So what you wanna do, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 rotations is how many rotations we need to get this inner tie rod end out. And as you can see, our tie rod end joint is actually pretty toast, so that would be due for replacement. And this is on a 2002 Chevy Malibu, front wheel drive. So next up, once you got your part replaced, or removed in this case, you're gonna take your new part. In our case, we're reinstalling our old part. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna go, and you're gonna count your threads to go back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 rotations puts their alignment back as it was before you removed the part. Next up, you're going to want to at least snug the lock nut up. But first, you're going to add it into the hub assembly again. So that way you can actually have the movement capabilities that you'll need to tighten this. So at first, you're going to want to just snug it so it's back up against your tie rod. In our case, this wants to spin with it, so you're going to want to put a wrench on that so it does not spin freely. In our case, that's going to be a 13mm. Now, what you will do is you will tighten this nut freely with it. But you will not get it tight. You will get it so it's up against it. Hang on 1 second. Next up, this is per vehicle specific, so this does not work on every vehicle model out there. You're going to want to look in your specifications, your owner's manual, or even your local auto parts store. And you're going to want to find out the torque specs for this nut right here. And while you're at it, find the torque specs for the nut, for the tie rod end link right here as well. And alrighty, so we are back on the Malibu. What you're going to do now is you're going to find your tie rod end link, and you're going to torque that to 15 foot-pounds, and then rotate that nut 180 degrees. So first you got to set your torque wrench, 15 foot-pounds, pop under here, realize you need a deep well socket, Alrighty, so what you gotta do is you gotta take your crow's foot, 22 millimeter, put it on your torque wrench, and set it to 55 foot-pounds. Then you're gonna find your way to your jam nut up in here, and what you're gonna do is you're just gonna tighten until you hear a good click. Hear that click? That means it is torqued and ready to go. Our ball joint may be shot, but if you tie rod end. Our tie rod end may be shot, but it'll live to go another day. Yep. Alright, you gotta take your 100 foot-pounds torque stick on your high quality impact. You gotta get to your pneumatic horsepower. You gotta make sure you're in race gear. Then you gotta make sure you're in drive. What you gotta do is take your 19 millimeter lug nut impact socket. You gotta go. You're gonna work your way in a star pattern and make sure you're tight with your torque stick if you have access. If not, just repeat the process we show next. Yep. Oh. You're doing it wrong in the video. Oh. What are you doing? You gotta do it. Now we need to do is put the boot back on. Slide it all the way to the end. Right to the floor, just like that.
Well, I'm able to grab it, but...
And boom, your high horsepower 2002 Chevy Malibu is ready to hit the road.